Hello everybody and welcome back to the lounge. Glad to be here once again. I hope all is doing well. And once again tonight I've got another story for you. One that just shows you that anybody can change no matter what. And sometimes we change because of our own motivation and mindset. Other times we'll change because of experiences we've been through. Just many different reasons, why a person can change. And as you guys know, we, try to help those that are going through, drug usage and addicts that's looking, for a place where they can fit in and get the help that they, that they need. And the most we can do here is, offer them that support and try to provide services and resources that we know of. But that's what it's about. Anyways, this story is very interesting. It all started with this guy right here that I'm getting ready to let you listen to, and then I'll be back here in a second. So have a listen, and I'll be right back.
The Fulton County courthouse killer is opening up to us, Channel 2 Action News, 11 years after that deadly rampage.
Brian Nichols says he has stayed quiet because he didn't want to cause more damage than he already has. It was March 2005 when Nichols escaped from the Fulton County courthouse. That touched off chaos in the streets and a massive manhunt. Nichols killed 4 people, including a judge. He's now breaking his silence in an exclusive interview with Channel 2's investigative reporter Mark Winnie. And Mark joins us now live inside the courthouse. This is where the murderous rampage started. Mark?
That's right. The killings that began in this courtroom, what was then Judge Roland Barnes' courtroom, gripped the nation. And this interview with Brian Nichols offers us the opportunity to look into the mindset of one of the most notorious active shooters in America, the most notorious in Georgia's history.
I don't want to cause any more damage than what I have already done, and that's the main reason why I've always remained quiet.
The calls came from the courthouse shooter, Brian Nichols.
I did some very bad things.
His victims in March 2005, Judge Roland Barnes, court reporter Julie Brandow, Deputy Hoyt Teasley, federal agent David Wilhelm.
Doing an interview with you, there will be nothing that I want from that, really, other than to express my remorse for the things that I've done.
To stay inside prison rules, a friend of Nichols, who says she's the only non-family member on his small approved call list, relayed our questions with her phone on speaker on several calls.
Have you sought redemption? Have you asked God for forgiveness?
Have you asked God for forgiveness?
I have. I pray and I ask for forgiveness.
The subject matter, wide-ranging.
Would you ask him, were you too wrapped up in yourself, in your selfish needs, in the time leading up to the killings and during the killings?
I think I was delusional. I think that drugs and alcohol played a part in those delusions. If there is something that someone could take away from this talk, it will be to recognize and understand the harm that marijuana can do.
Was justice done to Brian Nichols?
It doesn't matter. Things are as they are. If I could go back and do things differently, of course I would. I can't play the hand that I wish I was dealt. I have to play the hand that I have.
Now, there is much, much more that we talked to Brian Nichols about. Was there almost a 5th murder victim? More about the role he says marijuana played. And is he sorry for himself or his victims? That and more coming up on Channel 2 Action News at 6.
Now, Mark, of course, we all know interviews like this don't just happen overnight. I mean, it's been 11 years since this happened, but can you give us some insight into how you were able to set up this interview with Brian Nichols?
Yeah, this may be the hardest one to land I've ever landed. It started months ago, negotiating first to try to get a camera into the prison. Corrections officials indicated they had security concerns. Then we went about trying to arrange this phone arrangement. We edited out most of the sound, of course, from the intermediary. But even that, I had to convince Nichols to do the interview.
Yep, and he did. All right, Mark, thank you. More at 6. Mark Winnie live at the Fulton County Courthouse. Thank you.
All right, and now that you have heard that story and you've got an idea of what is going on here, maybe you've seen the movie and you'll find out what I'm talking about here in just a second, because I have got that report for you on exactly who I'm talking about with the movie that was made. Again, this happened back in 2005, so it's been quite a while back, but I was still moved by just the story on, how everything happened. So anyways, guys, be sure to leave your comments and, let me know what you think about it. And, out of curiosity, with the way that this guy, went into a courthouse and killed all these people, do you think it's fair where he is today? Do you agree with what he says, or if it was up to you, what do you think should have happened? Should it have just been life in prison, or was it just not cold-blood murder? To me, I feel like he was making excuses because, well, we'll talk about that another time. But give me your thoughts, and let's move on here.
Well, right now we have an incredible story for you. In March 2005, Brian Nichols held Ashley Smith hostage in her apartment for 7 hours after shooting 4 people in Atlanta. Ashley's miraculous relief made headlines worldwide, and now her true story has been made into a movie called Captive. In this interview with reporter Tim Branson, Ashley tells what happened that fateful night in an amazing testimony to the power of prayer.
We're just running around and saying, get out of the courthouse, get out of the courthouse.
The scene inside Atlanta's Fulton County Courthouse was chaotic and bloody. A man allegedly overpowered a courthouse deputy who was escorting him to his rape trial. He took the deputy's gun, then shot and killed the judge and court reporter.
The suspect is at large right now. He is identified as Brian Nichols.
Police launched a massive manhunt. As news spread, residents locked their doors and waited. At around 2 a.m. in northern Atlanta, Ashley Smith had just returned to her apartment after making a late-night run to a convenience store. It was then she noticed a suspicious-looking man sitting in his car.
She felt uneasy, so she jumped out of her car and hurried to her apartment. She put the key in the lock, opened the door, and the stranger was right behind her.
I started to scream just at the top of my lungs, and he came up to me, shut up, and just point the gun at me, just shut up, don't scream. If you don't scream, I won't hurt you. So I stopped screaming, and he pushed me in the house and shut the door and locked it. And I just knew that I wasn't going to make it out of there. I knew I was going to die. But I immediately said, God, look, he can rape me. He can do whatever he wants to me. Just let me walk out of here alive.
Inside, he told Ashley he was Brian Nichols, the man police had been looking for.
He had already killed 3 people to my knowledge, and he wasn't going to stop. I immediately started praying silently to God, just please get me out of here alive. I've been through so many things in my life. I will get through whatever happens to me. Just please do not let him kill me.
Nichols made her sit in the bathtub and left the room. He returned with a roll of tape.
When he came back with the tape, I was like, this is it. He's just going to strangle me with he had an extension cord too. He's going to strangle with me with the extension cord, or he's going to tape me up first, rape me, and then strangle me. That's it. I knew that if I wanted to make it out of there alive, that I better at least do what he says.
For Ashley, that meant overcoming years of addiction to meth. She had been getting help and had turned to God, but she couldn't make a clean break until now.
He asked if you had any pot to smoke. Tell me about that. Tell me what happened.
He asked me if I had any. I said no, but I've got some ice. It was like God came in and said, okay, here's your choice. You can say no, and you can live on doing great things that I have planned for you. Or you can live this miserable, miserable life that you've been living. Immediately, I said no. That was the time for Ashley to wake up and to start living her life again instead of continuing to die slowly.
Nichols snorted the meth and untied Ashley. She started telling him about her life, her struggles, and her 5-year-old daughter. She also read to him from a book she had been reading called The Purpose-Driven Life by Pastor Rick Warren. Nichols seemed to relax as she talked. Then he asked Ashley what he should do.
For him to ask me, what do you think I should do? I wasn't going to hold back. What do I think? Do you really want to know? Is what I thought to myself. Do you really want to know? Do you want to know? So I told him, I think you should turn yourself in. He said, I have a demon inside of me. So the whole spiritual warfare, I could get that. I could definitely see that he was being pulled one way or two different ways.
Then finally, after 7 hours, Nichols let Ashley go. She drove off in her car and called 911.
911, what's your emergency?
When police arrived, Nichols turned himself in and would be sentenced to life for the murder of 4 people. For Ashley, her experience as a hostage helped her find freedom, because not only did she give up drugs, she committed her life fully to Jesus Christ. Later, Ashley learned she was never alone on this journey. The women in this prayer group had been praying for her for 6 years, including her Aunt Kim.
We were asking God to free her. I mean, that was just our heart's cry, that we wanted her free from this, that we wanted her to see how much God loved her. And I think we were just crying out for the freedom of this addiction and for her to see God.
We would ask God to show off.
Right.
I mean, those are direct quotes sometimes in our prayer. Be big, show off. You know, show your power, show your glory.
And that he would do something that would get her attention. And he did.
In time, Ashley put her life back together. She's learned that when she prays, God is with her and always will be.
My future is so much brighter now because I have a personal relationship with Jesus. And that makes my world and my future so much brighter.
All right, you guys, so there you have it. Ashley, her whole life was turned around for the better. You know, I watched that movie for a long time. I never knew that was a movie that was based on a true story. I mean, the movie was made because of what happened to her. Just really, really amazing that her life was turned around for the better. And, you know, no matter if a person is on drugs and they decide to bring God into their life, or a person is on drugs and they decide that they want more in their life just because they know what's going to happen if they don't change their life, no matter what the turnout is, if it's always a positive turnout, that's all that matters. Guys, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this story, and also be sure to give us a thumbs up, showing us that you appreciate these kind of stories. Let me know what you think about, you know, doing these type of stories, if you enjoy them. And yeah, if you got any other ideas for stories or information that you think would be interesting for us to share here at the lounge, by all means let us know. If you're not a subscriber here at the lounge yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap on that bell, set your notifications so you don't miss out on any other great videos that we have here. I love every one of you guys, and I'll talk to you here real soon.